Walking Dead Survival Instinct is a really bad game. I'm going to be straightforward and not wait to give a final rating. The game is just that bad. Which, as I say that, I should already say that this game is a 4 out of 10. I haven't even told you guys the story yet, and I'm already giving the final rating, which is something that I never do in this series. I've been anticipating this game before the Good, the Bad, the Ugly series has ever been made to begin with. But I'm finally here, 2 years later, finally making the video. And no, it didn't take me 2 years to beat the game. I just didn't want to play this game at all. That's why. Probably now is a good time to mention this game was made in 2013, when GTA 5 came out. Which, to put in perspective, GTA 5 looks like this, and Survival Instinct looks like a PS2 game. It's also as janky as a first-person PS2 game. At least, though, it didn't get many sales, because the Telltale's The Walking Dead game series came out around the same time. And was actually getting a sequel as Survival Instinct came out, so that's just very unfortunate. The differences between both games, though, is that Telltale's is set in the comics, and for Survival Instinct, it obviously takes place in the TV universe. It's a prequel to the show, and it follows TV-exclusive characters, Daryl and Merle, which I'll talk about Merle later. The start of the game has you play as Daryl's father, which Daryl's reaction retcons what he thought about his father in the TV show. In the TV show, his father was abusive, but whatever, Robert Kirkman openly talked shit about this game, and I'm pretty sure he quietly made it non-canon as well. Uncle Jess has to shoot the father, and the Walking Dead opening credits plays loudly. It's like a bomb siren, which is honestly really annoying. That's also what you have to hear inside the driving segments. But let's talk about the music for a minute and the issues that the music comes with. The music is so goddamn repetitive. They could not be bothered to make more, I guess. But fuck it, they blew all the budget to afford the actors of Daryl and Merle because, you know, they're cheap. Well, regardless, let me just tell you the rest of the story, or at least the non-filler parts. Later on into the game, you kill Uncle Jess because he got bit by a walker at the start of the game as he shoots you. Daryl looks for Merle, both of them go to a bar. Merle wants his Breaking Bad meth stash, but no joke, The Walking Dead and Breaking Bad, on 2 occasions that I'm aware of, have made a sort of crossover thing. One where in the TV show, Daryl finds blue meth, and inside of Telltale's 400 Days DLC, there's a picture of Jesse and Walt. So, maybe it could be canon. You and Merle both get separated, then you get to the evacuation point, which you both meet up, and you have a turret section. Merle stops you from boarding to the helicopter, then you both stick together, and the end. Yeah, that's it. Daryl still decides to follow Merle, even though he almost got Daryl killed on multiple occasions. Over meth. I guess drugs over family members. But the story is really bland and boring. I swear, Mr. Bertram gets better writing than this. Well, actually, that might be a lie. I mean, to be fair, this game is only slightly better than The Walking Dead Destiny is. But only by a very slightly, 0.5 micrograms slightly. One question though, why in the end of the game do they reuse old lines?
You know I got your back. Hell, I'm the only man you could ever count on.
Yeah, I know.
You know I got your back.
Yeah, I know.
Hell, I'm the only man you could ever count on.
That's what I mean by only slightly. But also the colors are both muted. They're both as muted as each other. The game is just this dog shit. That low of a budget. And speaking of budget, let me show you some of these cutscenes. They remind me of old SpongeBob nutshell videos.
Stay here.
What?
Let's also talk about the idea of the car sections now, and how they're pointless. So there are 3 routes you can take. Highway, streets, and back roads. A lot of the time when I played, I used back roads mainly, just to get more fuel, since back road gives me more fuel than streets, and streets gives you like 0.1 millimeters of gas, which is why I chose to always take the back roads. And also in the back roads, you break down less frequently. Also, I hate the mechanic of your car breaking down. I only broke down once in the entire game. Since the car sections are all RNG, you can break down more than one time in a single section. Because, you know, game logic. Which the funny thing is, I broke down less than the world record, or at least current May 1st, 2025 world record, because I saw the world record change now like 3 or 4 times when I checked it. So this means that this trash game is slowly getting more popular if there are some people still speedrunning it. Doesn't look like many people, but if you also watch the YouTube videos on this game, you'd know it's sort of widespreadly hated. Back to talking about the car stuff, you can also have people come with you. Basically, they're just NPCs that add nothing to the story. Like Noah, Uncle Jess, and quite a few other characters. They did this for replay value, but it's just ass. They also tried to do this with the map. The map basically shows you the places that you can go. They usually vary between 2 to 3 places that you can pick. Which, I just always chose the first option. So, unfortunately, I had to play a mid-ass hospital section, which I'll talk about after I'm done ranting about this. That I had to play a mid-ass hospital level instead of a subpar sawmill level, which I could have done the sawmill, but I'm not replaying this mid-ass game. Back to the hospital level. It's mundane, confusing, and dull are all the words I can describe this level. You have to get medicine from Merle, you have a walkie-talkie to talk to him with, and somehow Merle said something and it alerted a bunch of zombies for absolutely no reason. Yet in a past level, when Daryl was screaming, literally screaming for Merle, there were no zombies alerted at all.
Merle! Dixon!
Where can you get a poke and a smoke around here?
Damn it, Merle, you're gonna get me killed.
I find it really stupid that happens to begin with, but whatever, it doesn't matter. There's also this level where you go to a church and light fireworks, which I mean, that level's okay, but not really special. A level, in my opinion, that doesn't really make sense is the bar mission, where Merle's gang betrays him and Merle wants his meth. It was a really lazy idea, or a lazy way of giving the player a crossbow. But anyway, there's a girl named Scout, you meet her in the 3rd level, and now she's on top of a truck.
Saved your ass at the diner. Do I look like your bitch?
Not in that outfit.
What? Oh, hell.
In the train mission, Daryl hallucinates Merle talking to him on the walkie-talkie. Even though in the bar mission, they both split up from each other, which confirms that Daryl is in fact schizophrenic. The neighborhood level, Scout leaves with her clearly about to turn father, and we get a close-up of Daryl's fingers that look like Vienna sausages. And the last mission, which I'm just gonna show you most of the level, which, keep in mind, this game is a stealth game.
Keep him off me! And keep him off that truck! You hear? Come on, you son of a bitch!
There's also this character development arc that goes literally nowhere, that happens twice in the entire game, where Daryl thinks Merle is a bad guy. But something really annoying about Daryl's character is he meat rides Merle.
Merle, he's just not right.
What you say to me, old man?
Merle's 10 times the man you are.
Which, let's talk about Merle for a minute. In this game, Merle is a shithead, which he already was in the series as well. In the game, he basically almost kills Daryl, forces him to drive to a bar, almost got him killed by a gang over meth, and then takes him out of a helicopter that Daryl was trying to go on. His excuse was the pilot was, quote, bit, but I highly doubt it. But that's basically all of the highlights of the levels. Yep, those were just all of the highlights of the levels. That was it. All of the highlights. About that point earlier I made, though, about why it was a commercial failure, it was because Telltale Season 2 was coming out. But there were also a lot of other zombie games that were way too better. They were way better than this game. They had a greater magnitude and better graphics, which a majority of these games are older as well, even though they had better graphics, like Left 4 Dead, Dead Rising, Plants vs. Zombies, and Telltale's The Walking Dead. If the market weren't too oversaturated, and if it was released in the PS2 era, then it probably wouldn't be entirely a commercial failure. But no. Let's also talk about the bag system in this game that sucks. Basically, in the game, you have a bag to put items into. But number one issue about it is that the car inventory and your inventory are both really tiny, which is very annoying. But, what else could I talk about? I mean, that's really about the whole game. I mean, there's DLC to the game. One of them gives you extra weapons, another lets you play herd mode, which is just a COD Zombies ripoff. There's also these things in the game called relics, which if you keep the survivors alive until the end of the game, survivors will give you a special perk if you keep them alive until the end. They all have their own special perk. The only thing fun about this idea is that you can use a crossbow and an AR at the start of the game. But, yeah, that's really it about the game. Took me 3.5 hours to complete the game. This game is awful, and don't play it. But bye guys, hope you have a nice day. Better than mine. Bye.